Thanks for tuning in to the Secret Ingredient podcast from Digital Sandwich, where we believe that everyone has a story behind their story, and that is where the secret ingredient lives. Unleashing the secret ingredient through a combination of personalized custom content, social media, and paid advertising is the very best way to build the relationships that you need to grow your business. With that being said, let's see what's in the kitchen and find out this week's secret ingredient.
Welcome back to The Secret Ingredient. Today we're joined by Chris Curcio, the dynamic leader of Litehouse, a company that's much more than just pools and spas. They've got everything from patio grills to full outdoor living solutions. And at the right time of the year, amazing Christmas trees. Chris began his journey as a college student at Litehouse and has since escalated to the helm, steering the company to over $40 million in annual revenue. Chris is known for transforming his challenges into real opportunities, much like turning your average backyard into your favorite getaway spot. Let's settle in and explore some of the key moves and moments in Chris's career that have made waves in his industry and beyond. Welcome to the show, Chris. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
That was a great intro. Who is that guy?
you did. That's you. You did do those things. It is weird to hear, though.
It is.
I sat in that seat not that long ago and had somebody do an intro, and I'm like, what? Who?
What? Yeah, who is that?
Yeah, I'm kind of a bumbling buffoon in weird shirts. I don't know who the hell they're talking about.
That's all of us.
I mean, it really is, right? Can you share how your early experience at Litehouse shaped your vision and leadership style? I mean, especially that transformation is kind of rare, from employee starting college to you're the big cheese.
Yeah, it's not quite the journey I had planned at 17. Yeah,
right, right.
But it sort of worked out. I just really enjoyed working there as I was going through college, and then had the opportunity. Litehouse used to franchise locations, and I was working for one of the franchisees at the time, and stayed on. After college, stayed on, got involved in management, and then eventually in ownership of one of the franchise locations with those owners. The main company. So there were. Gosh, at one point there were 25 Litehouse stores, 15 franchises, and 10 company-owned stores. And they went through an evolution. The owner, the gentleman who was going to take over the company, unfortunately passed away in a car accident. And the owner of the company came back in, but he was past retirement age and really wasn't interested in continuing to run the company. They went through some transitions where they allowed some of the franchisees to change our business models and sort of move on. And so they had the company stores and a number of franchisees left. And there basically became an evolution where the company came up for sale, and I bought it in 2008. And there's a lot more detail there, but we probably don't have time to discuss all of it. But that's sort of the evolution. And as you go through that process, there's just a lot that you learn, and a lot of trial and error. You make a lot of mistakes along the way. You just got to know how to get out. You get lost in the cave. You just got to figure your way out of it.
So, but it gives you a really interesting perspective. So as you're making decisions from here, you've been here. And so talk to me a little bit about the thought process there, because you're really thinking at it. You're thinking about things from multiple angles.
Yeah. So having the experience from being the stock boy, basically starting out stocking the shelves and cleaning the warehouse, and then evolving into sales, and then management, and for anyone out there listening, that if I was your manager and screwed up, which I probably did, I apologize. But you learn through that process, and that's really the way that I've gotten where I'm at. Is I've always been intrigued by business. My background is in college was computer science, they called it, instead of IT, and which was a lot of programming and stuff then, but accounting. So it was a double major. But my interests have always been around business, so I sort of gravitated toward this entrepreneur thing, just more out of it being enjoyable. To me, it's not so much pools and hot tubs. It's great. I love what we sell and what we do. I love it because it's fun stuff. But that's the widget. But it's a widget.
That's more about it's more about the systems
exactly.
and process. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the game. The game that we're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
we know it's a chessboard. We're just trying to make the right moves, and sometimes you're looking at it and you make the wrong one, but you've got to reassess every time. So.
Right. Well, some people aren't playing chess though. Some people are playing checkers. And I think about that in what you're saying, because I hear it in your experience and where it came from and all like that when you're making decisions, when you're navigating strategy, et cetera, what's the direction, you're thinking about the impact on the entire company, where a lot of business owners that are playing checkers are thinking, how does this impact me? You're thinking, how does this impact X amount of years ago, Chris? How does this impact everybody right down to the bottom line and our customers? And that's unfortunately not how all business owners think, though. I know.
It's funny. We all do things. We think things, or other people operate the way we operate, or the way we think, and so so that is a strange concept to me, but I understand it to be reality because I've talked to a lot of other business owners. I look at myself as an employee of that company who is responsible for taking care of the company. So I don't view it as my company. I view it as the company I'm responsible for maintaining. I've got 150 employees, and that balloons to over 200 typically during the summer. I'm responsible for those people. They have families and things that they've got to do. I'm charged with running that company responsibly. It's not about me. It's about all the people there and what my responsibility is to take care of those folks. So.
Yeah, it is a responsibility. Yeah. It's a responsibility. It's an honor, and not everybody sees it that way, though. They look at it, the authority piece of it. And I don't think that has any place in it.
My least favorite part is being the authoritarian. I'm forceful at it, I guess is probably the word, but it's not something that we set out on our day to do. Our expectation, my expectation, I should say, is I want everybody to be responsible for their portion. I want to be responsible for mine. You please be responsible for yours. That's we're all working there together.
Well, and I love that. I mean, you just said the key. And again, this is something that people miss in the recipe is you all are responsible for your part, and I promise I'm responsible for mine.
That's my gig.
And my job is really to put you in the best positions for you to succeed at what you've been charged with as well. In many ways, we work for them.
Yeah.
And that's just true. And we all work for the total entity.
Exactly. And the thing is, listen, I've been doing this a long time. Not everybody agrees with, somebody comes in, they're there for a few weeks or, short period of time, and they have their vision of how they should do their job or their role or whatever it is. And my vision is different. And the reason my vision is different in that is we've done it your way. What you're bringing up, we tried that. It didn't work. So that's why we do it this way, because this does work. Now, that doesn't mean we can't evolve.
Bring me something new.
Yeah, bring me something new. Let's do it.
We've burned our hand on the stove. It is hot.
If I touch that hot plate a couple too many times, I know not to do it again.
Right.
So please listen to my experience. I'm not telling you no because I'm trying to shut you down. I'm telling you no because we've been there. So let's go this direction.
Sounds a lot like parenting.
It
is. It mirrors it. It really
very
does.
Much so. Yeah,
it really
much
does.
So.
Yeah, guys, I'm not trying to be the fun police over here. You're about to be a dope, and it's my job to protect you from being a dope where you hurt yourself.
Don't do it.
And that stove is hot.
Or hurt the company. Don't hurt the company,
right.
So.
So one of the things you've done over your career is diversify the product line. As I was doing some research, I read an article about this, about some of the evolution of Litehouse, taking it from what it was and what it is now. Can you talk to me a little bit about what your approach to identifying new opportunities in a fairly straightforward industry? How do you evaluate these new opportunities? You've taken some interesting opportunities like the trees and that sort of thing.
Well, the trees, the Christmas trees sort of necessitated itself in that the pool season in northeastern Ohio is relatively short.
It is.
In the grand scheme. We don't live in Florida. We all understand that. But roughly half of our business is being conducted from April through July. Mm-hmm. So we've got to find something to do during those other months. Coming back to the responsibility of the employees in the business, we want to keep people employed year round. We don't want to lay people off. So over the years that evolved, it was, and this was before I bought the company, so these weren't my ideas. I've just kind of done that. But we did pool tables back when that was a thing, before video games, maybe, I don't know. But we still do a bit in pool tables. That business has changed a lot, and then Christmas trees, and then we also have a wholesale Christmas tree business where we import artificial trees, permanent Christmas trees for other retailers across the country. So not only are we selling them in our own stores, but we're importing and selling to other retailers. But our main focus is kind of what you said at the beginning. We are interested in trying to provide just a wonderful experience in someone's backyard. So the pool, the hot tub, the outdoor furniture, that's kind of our gig. We keep evolving on the outdoor furniture because that's one of the areas that changes from a style perspective all the time. So we just try to stay relevant in that side of it. But
no, I love the idea of the transformation of the yard. I'm going to sidebar that for a minute because the space, right? Because your average person spends 11 months, 3 weeks of the year waiting for that 1 week that they go enjoy a pool in an ocean or a mountain or a creek or whatever. Versus, hey, maybe enjoy your life the rest of the year too a little bit. Yeah. And in that sense, it makes like what you do is a little more important than we're just retail and we're selling wares, we're selling widgets. Yeah. You're selling stuff that enhances lifestyle.
Nobody wants a swimming pool. They want the experience a swimming pool brings. The family entertainment, the kids jumping around in the
actually
pool.
Want to come over.
Yeah, the kids want to come over. They want to spend time at your house. And for parents with younger children who are swimming, they want, I can tell you my experience raising my children, I wanted the kids at my house in the summer. So the neighborhood kids were coming to my house. I could keep tabs on what was going on in their life. Right. So it sort of evolved into that sort of neighborhood party all the time. But I knew what was going on in their lives, so that was important to us. But that's what that's about. It's not about owning any one of these items. It's about the experience that they provide. Outdoor furniture sets, you can have a party with some friends or neighbors and things like that.
Right. And so these things just made sense to add on. I want to back up to something you just said about being the neighborhood go-to house. I love that because the kids are going to get influenced somewhere.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be
hopefully it's at my house.
Hopefully it's at my house. And hopefully that's good. Yeah.
Hopefully it's we're able to kind of control the values and things going on in their lives. And it was always very important to us to try to provide that.
Yeah, I love that. Can you tell us about a particularly challenging moment in your career and kind of how you navigated it?
When I first bought Litehouse, that was particularly challenging. I went from being a partner in 3 retail stores, and I had transitioned over to taking a position in a management level at corporate Litehouse a little bit before I bought it. But it was very challenging going from 3 to 15. and trying to bring the culture into the other stores that we hadn't been running. Right.
Yeah.
So you look at it and you think, oh, it's not going to be a big deal. We'll just, hey, whatever we've been doing that's been working, we'll just tell everybody to do it.
Yeah.
We'll just say, hey, let's do it. Unfortunately, so that was the plan. And so this was 2008. And so right in the midst of the financial crisis. Yeah,
there was an event in 2008.
2008. In September of 2008, I was in a hotel room in Chicago preparing for my day at our outdoor furniture show. We like everybody, we go to a show to buy products, see all the products available, and make our purchases. And so anyway, I'm in Chicago, and I'm literally getting ready to leave my room, and I'm watching them talk about shutting down basically the financial liquidity in the markets. And things already had not been going all that great. There were bank failures, and then after that there were many bank failures, and there we were trying to run a business, and the world seems to be coming to an end all of a sudden. And we're not selling insulin. We're selling things that people don't need, but they want. We know everybody wants it. They just don't need it. So if you've got to spend money on something you absolutely need, or pool, the pool isn't going to be the first thing. So we weren't in that market very long before that happened, and so that was probably the most difficult part. And what we did was we just looking into that space before I didn't know the banks were going to fail, but I knew we were coming up on the precipice of something that was going to be a very difficult environment, and we were already down the process of doing everything we could to be lean and be able to survive it. So we knew it was getting bad because the housing failures were happening. So that was probably one of the most difficult times. We don't have to talk about the pandemic. Everybody worked through that one. That was a pretty scary, difficult time when they were shutting down businesses. We were able to stay open, thankfully. That we sell sanitizing products. So, so right during that pandemic when they were allowing
essential,
some kind of essential stuff, right? And if you had water and you needed to take care of it, well, you had to be able to get those products someplace. So since we sold sanitizing agents and things like that, we were able to make it through that process.
Well, and then the pandemic actually created some opportunity for you as well.
Huge.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Like I know for me, even personally, like most of my successes or my greatest moments, or even things in life, like meeting my wife, or stuff like that, starting the business. Right before that was something end of the world,
really
pretty awful, right? Like the girl broke up with me, but then what I mean? Or I lost my job, but I started the business, whatever it is. But it's so interesting that very often the success stories are preceded by, well, this isn't going to go the right way. This is bad.
Didn't the wise man say it's always darkest before the dawn, right? Is
something
that
like that? Yeah. I think that's accurate.
Somebody said it. I don't know who it is. But that's maybe that was in a song, right? No, but so that was the process, and I think a lot of people, the pandemic hit, they're shutting businesses down. Everybody prior to that, things were actually going pretty good in the economy. Like things were good, and all of a sudden it was a halt. And so we were fortunate enough to be in a business that was able to be open. We had to fight for that opportunity to be able to be open, but we were. And so I feel badly for the people that it affected, in the wrong way, unfortunately, because, if you owned restaurants and things, I mean, those people went through a lot of grief during that period. Still are. Yeah.
I think the workforce has forever changed, and not just your industry as well. I think retail and restaurants. The workforce is different.
Yeah.
It's just different.
It is different. And going about getting the workforce is definitely different. But so, for us, the benefit was people were at home and they wanted entertainment at home.
And they wanted home to be more fun.
And so we were very fortunate to be in the space where we could provide that. So other industries that did well were, RVs and boats and things like that, where people could go camping or things that they were allowed to do during that period of time. But no, pools, hot tubs still remain. Pools and hot tubs still remain in the top 5 products when the average consumer is asked if money wasn't an issue, if you didn't, if that wasn't a problem, what types of products would you want to have? Pools and hot tubs typically rank 1, 2, 2, 3, that kind of thing in that top 5.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do we get rid of the money being an issue?
Yeah, if we just made them all free.
Just give them away, Chris. You've been very successful. Just give them away.
Just start giving pools and hot tubs away.
We're enhancing life everywhere.
We're not. We'll do that, and I'll just send the bill over to Digital Sandwich.
Yeah, that's going to sit in that'll sit in AR for a while, or accounts payable for a minute. What's a piece of advice that you would give to somebody aspiring to transform their business in a significant way, much like you have over the years with Lighthouse?
Be bold. Don't be so risk averse that you're afraid to do it. I mean, everyone's a little afraid, but be brave and do it. But be smart. Don't risk everything you own necessarily on the success. But be brave and do it. There's a lot of reward to it. But some of the things we talk about, and we were talking about earlier in this, is that you've got to understand you're just one of the components typically, right? You've got if you're expanding, you've got many people you've got to rely on. So be brave in picking that opportunity. Most entrepreneurs, as soon as they're not the only employee, once you've got 2 or 3, the dynamic changes. If you've got one, it's almost you have a lot of control over it. You lose control once you have a number of employees, and you've got to just rely on them. You've got to rely on them to do what they're supposed to do, and that's the way to do it. That may be the hard part. Giving up control is sometimes the hard part.
I would agree with that. So moving from 3 to 15, several years ago, was that you're going from 20 employees to 150.
Yeah. We at the time we're buying a lot of product through a distribution company and then started running our own warehouse facilities and buying direct from vendor. Again, it's a long transition. I won't get into all that, but Lighthouse today, not only do we sell products in our stores, but we distribute to other retail. So, it was a huge change from, 15, 20 employees to 150, and trying to evolve culture is a little bit more gradual process, and geographical issues. The same thing that may be going on, even though they're relatively close. I mean, we're all pretty much in Northeastern Ohio here. Stores that are a half hour away from each other, you really have different things going on. You've just got to be aware of that.
That's so true. So, I mean, my past, I had 10 Verizon stores all over Northeast Ohio, and what was going on in Oberlin was not the same as Minerva.
Right.
Very, very, I mean, they're an hour away, but completely different culturally, completely different.
I mean, you want to try to maintain a similar culture at the store, but the consumer is different in different areas. So
absolutely,
you do have to evolve. And honestly, the employees are going to be different in each area because they're a product of that environment. Hopefully, typically you're hiring somebody to work at that location that lives pretty close. So and has probably lived there for for quite a while, especially in our business. We appreciate that somebody has lived in that area and understands the area and understands the people in that area, because they're going to be more effective talking with them. And again, just an hour away, it'll be different.
It's completely different.
It's going to be different.
It really is. So one of the things that I know about you for a number of years, at least, is that you're very passionate about giving back, specifically to certain causes. Do you want to talk about that for a second?
Well, one of the things we've been involved in, I don't even know how many years, a long number of years, 11, 12 years, the St. Jude Dream Home project that we've been doing. And I had an opportunity a number of years ago to go visit St. Jude when we had first signed up to get involved. And truthfully, the what they do there to care for not only the children going through the experience of cancer, which is just horrible as a child, but they care for the whole family. They're trying to watch out for the benefit of the entire family, and they don't charge anyone.
Nothing.
So everything comes through donation and gifting. We're excited to be able to be involved in that. The folks locally at Fox 8, just a shout out to them, because they do a phenomenal job supporting that project. The other people involved with donations and the selection of the builder to build a home and so forth. But at the end of the day, everyone's doing all of that to benefit the folks at St. Jude, which are just incredible people doing a very difficult thing to see the children and the families going through that process, and their success rate and the things they've done to improve cancer treatment over the years has literally helped cancer treatment around the globe.
Right.
Not only for pediatric cancers, but also for adult cancer. So as their treatment has evolved there, they've actually been able to do things that have helped cancer in older folks as well. So the research they do there is incredible.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. And that's great that makes so much sense that you're involved in that. That's a little known thing, or not little known, but people may not realize that St. Jude's not only there's no charge, there's no bill, but it's also a research facility to your point. I mean, so they're doing two kind of opposite end of the spectrum.
They have their own. They have their own facilities. They're doing research to try to cure cancer. So that's essentially what they're trying to do. And obviously, they're working in areas, because by the time you're there, you've probably tried another path by the time you end up there. So they're sort of on the cutting edge of trying to bring new treatments to help people out. And again, they have a very high success rate, and they're just doing great things for families there. And I have a lot of respect for the people who put the time in and work there and do what they do in that environment, because that would be extremely difficult for me to walk into every day.
I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine doing the things that they do there. And I appreciate the philosophy that you have. That what is sort of the point of all this if we can't help in some way?
What are we doing? Yeah. What do we got?
What are we doing? What's any of it matter?
Yeah. So it's not about what, I guess my philosophy, it's not my company, it's our company. We all work there. We're all working on it. If we can't do something, and not that I can't do everything, obviously there's probably 1,000 other charities I'd love to be able to give to or help out, but being able to do something that has some significance that I feel in touch with has been important. So we're very grateful to be able to be involved in that one.
Well, I want to pull the string on this point just a little bit further, because it really matches how I think about what a company can be. yes, a company has to be profitable in order to matter, right? So it's not, you can't save a drowning person if you too are drowning,
True.
right? So, but think when I started Digital Sandwich, it was, I thought that I could run a business better than bosses I'd had and stuff like that, whatever, all that sort of arrogant thinking. But I
sound like most of my employees.
But I also truly believed that if we looked at the company for an agent of change, that anybody involved in it would be touched in a way that would be a positive thing, whether it be through knowledge or better for their next station. It could fund the lifestyle that they wanted, and there was a giving back component that we truly could look at ourselves as this agent and this vehicle to transform, rather than the end. We sell widgets. Who cares about the widget? No one cares about the widget. With us, we can have this. I talk about it all the time. The triple win, right? We want our clients to love what we do,
right?
And it better matter for them, or what are we doing,
right?
Right? And the company itself can be profitable and do good things in the community and be part of the community, and the folks that work there can live a life that is worth living.
Yeah.
That they can fund themselves.
Yeah.
So I hear that in what you're talking about, and it resonates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It's the challenge in retail. I would say probably the most significant challenge on the retail side is the employee living the life they want to live. It's a little challenging there because we're sort of working when most of the people are off work, right?
Right.
That they're working their 9 to 5 or whatever job, and then we got to be there not 9 to 5 on evenings and weekends and stuff. So that's probably a little bit more challenging. But I've been doing it since I was 17 myself, and although generally speaking, I'm not working on the weekends any longer, and I do appreciate the people out there who are. I did that for a lot of years, and you find a way around it. And quite honestly, it's nice being off on a Tuesday or Wednesday because you can go out and do so many things. There's not as much traffic, and you can go shopping in a store, and it's not packed. So I actually kind of enjoyed having that type of schedule, like a Tuesday or Wednesday off instead, because I could get a lot more done.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody else I'm getting left alone because everybody else is doing something else.
Do stuff.
So, it strikes me that a fellow like you probably is not like complacent or satisfied. So what's next? What's getting you up in the morning now?
You know what still gets me up? I love business. I love doing business. I really enjoy the challenge of each day. Almost every day is different. I don't do the same thing. Typically something happens someplace where I'm getting involved in something I sure didn't expect to happen that day.
Right.
So I still love that. I still love doing that every day. I'm looking for, I'm always, much to, probably my wife's dismay, looking at other business opportunities that might be around and things like that. And it's not even, I'm not looking for something necessarily to go earn more money. I just love business. I look at opportunities of doing something different. So right now, what I'm doing is this. I'm going to keep doing this, but I always enjoy looking at other business models, and I'm considering what now that I'm 58 and getting older. Maybe it's time to give back in a little bit different way. Is try to help maybe some younger entrepreneurs that want to start their own businesses or understand business better. Maybe that I can help provide some of that, some of my insight, right or wrong. To people.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I have some connections that I need to.
Okay.
that I'll make for you.
Volunteer me out.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Well, I tell you, it's so rewarding. I'm involved in a couple organizations like that, and I'm by no means done. I haven't arrived anywhere. Hopefully I do. But
we've all arrived exactly where we're at.
We're all on a journey, right?
That's it. And so we're all in that journey someplace. It's just where are we at in the grand scheme of it? We'll arrive at the next spot, but we're still not arrived, right?
Yeah. So. I mean, we're exactly where our choices led us to.
Good or bad, right?
Yeah. I mean, we got here by the choices that we made.
That's right.
All right. So, ready for the rapid fire round?
Oh,
we'll bring this in for a landing.
Okay. 5, 4. Go for it.
Black licorice, yes or no?
When I was young, no. Today, yes.
Early bird or night owl?
Neither.
Depends on the day, I'm guessing.
Night owl.
Night owl.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Innovation or tradition?
Innovation.
Yeah. One word that encapsulates your journey.
Interesting.
Favorite sandwich?
Oh. Turkey Club.
Turkey Club.
Yeah.
Little mayo, little aioli?
No mayo.
No mayo?
No. Tomato, lettuce. That's enough moisture on it, I think.
Any specific kind of bread? You focaccia? Ciabatta?
I do a sourdough or a ciabatta, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I'm an interesting guy.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining the show. I appreciate you taking the time out of your very, very busy schedule. Because every day is different. Some days you're sitting in a podcast booth with an idiot.
Yeah. Who knew that was going to happen?
Not you.
I didn't even know I was coming here.
Not you
today.
45 minutes ago.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll have you back whenever, when this next, I'm curious about the next step. We'll talk about that another time if you'll join me.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
See you next time on The Secret Ingredient.